Hello, Hammy Time here. In this video I'm going to show you my homemade washable hamster bedding. I'm using cut pieces of fleece and knit cotton, and I've been using it for about 7 months now. The number one reason I made it is because I go through so much bedding every week. I have 3 hamsters. Ginger has a double-decker cage using 2 100 quart plastic bins. Snickers has 5 critter trail cages, and Gimli just got a brand new homemade bin cage that I'll be doing a video of next. So I go through a lot of bedding every week. The paper bedding that I was using before cost $10 to $15 a bag, so it was getting very expensive and I would have to try to conserve as much as I could. This washable bedding allows me to use as much as I need. The reason I made it in the first place is because Snickers and I are allergic to the paper bedding dust. When we first got Snickers, I thought that I was allergic to her until I noticed that she was sneezing every time I cleaned her cage. This was the case every brand I tried. I would get congested and Snickers would sneeze, and she always had watery, goopy eyes that never cleared up, so I thought to look into alternative bedding. I thought of fabric because it was soft and reusable, so I tried different kinds of fabric and settled with fleece and knit cotton because the edges do not fray when cut up and washed. I cut large pieces that are about 2 to 3 inch blocks to prevent accidental ingestion and to compensate for any shrinkage in the wash. I use a rotary cutter and cutting mat, which is much faster than cutting with scissors. My hamsters do not try to eat or chew on the bedding. My only concern was that the bedding could accidentally be swallowed if their food got stuck to it, so the large pieces make it impossible for them to swallow. The first batch of bedding I made, I had to throw out most of it because I cut the pieces too small, and I had an old sweatshirt in the mix that shrank up and curled up into little pieces. I was worried that they could be swallowed, so I tried to pick them out, but there were too many mixed in, so I just threw out most of it, and I used what I salvaged for Gimli because he's a small dwarf hamster and the pieces are large and safe enough for him. When I cut up old t-shirts, I make sure to cut those pieces extra large because they tend to curl up as well. The best knit cotton I got was from a fabric store. I got 3 yards of it on sale and spent about $12. The fleece is from blankets that I got from Walmart for $2.88 each. I only use the fleece in well-ventilated places because it can get too hot and stuffy. The knit cotton I put in Snickers' critter trail cages where she likes to nest because the penthouses aren't ventilated well enough for the fleece. The knit cotton is intended to be used in warmer months and the fleece in colder months. My hamsters seem to really love this bedding. Ginger used to make nests in her barn and cheese house, but now she likes to pile up bedding in the corner and burrow in it. Snickers no longer sneezes and her eyes cleared up. Gimli likes to burrow in his bedding and has a secret little tunnel system, so you never know where he'll pop up. Overall, I'm happy with this bedding and will continue with it. One thing I really like about it is that it feels clean even when it's dirty. When I clean out the cages, there's no dust or dirt, and I just shake the bedding and most of the food and poop drops right off. The downside of it, although it really doesn't bother me, is that I have to wash it. To wash the bedding, I use a large bucket, colander, small fishnet, something to stir with, lingerie mesh washing bags, a zip-up pillow protector, dishwashing soap, and laundry detergent. During the week, I spot clean and collect dirty bedding, which I put in Ziploc bags that are marked dirty in red ink. To help keep odors away, I spray the bags, not the bedding, with bedding spray and keep it in a plastic bin with a lid. On weekends, when I clean the cages, I do a clean sweep and collect all the bedding and wash it. I put as much as I can in the bucket and fill it with the hottest tap water with just a tiny bit of dishwashing liquid. I stir it up and let it sit for a little bit. Then I take the fish net and fish out the pieces of food and poop that conveniently floats up to the top. I dump the bedding into the colander to drain it. The colander protects the drain from bedding that can clog it up. After rinsing the bedding a few times, I squeeze out the water and put the bedding into the lingerie mesh washing bags, zip them up, and secure the zippers with safety pins. My dwarf hamster Gimli's bedding is put in the pillow protector because the smaller pieces produce more lint in the dryer, so the protector keeps the lint contained. I drop the bags into the washer. My washer has an agitator in the middle, so sometimes I have to add towels to keep it balanced so the washer doesn't knock around during the spin cycle. I set the dials to hot, 2 rinse cycles, and delicates. If I add detergent, I only use a free and clear natural detergent, and I put just a few drops of it into the wash. I mostly use hot water to wash the bedding because I don't want anything on the bedding that could irritate them. After the wash, I toss them into the dryer and put them at the hottest settings to speed up the drying time. The knit cotton takes longer to dry than the fleece. When everything is done drying, I store the fleece, knit cotton, and Gimli's bedding separately in large Ziploc bags. So this bedding works great for us. I'm not telling anyone to do this. This is definitely not for anyone who doesn't like to get their hands dirty. I'm not saying this is the best bedding. This is simply my solution to keeping costs down, reduce waste, and to help Snickers breathe a lot better. I made this video because this bedding is in some of my videos and will be in future videos, so if anyone asks what bedding I used, I can direct them here. So that's it, my homemade washable hamster bedding. Thank you for watching.